Good morning, my garden friends. For those of you who've been following me for the last few months, you know I love seeds. And I often wonder where that came from, and my love of gardening, because my mother never liked gardening. She thought that flowers were at funerals. She connected that smell, didn't like it. If we sent her flowers, she put them out in her breezeway so that she didn't like that. The only place she did like any flowers was she had a little altar in the house with a little kneeling bench, and my dad would bring in a rose that he had a couple rose bushes, and when they were blooming, he would bring that in, and uh, she would put it in front of the Blessed Mother. So there was that connection with religion. But anyway, I had to go back in my memory bank, and I hope you'll indulge me with this little story, is that we moved from Pittsburgh, where I was born, in 1950, and then in 1956 we moved to Greensburg, Pennsylvania, which was about an hour's drive away, and still southwestern Pennsylvania, and to a big house. And when you came out our kitchen door, there was like a sidewalk from the kitchen door in the back to where the gate was. And there was a little strip of dirt, maybe only a foot by maybe 25 feet. And somewhere along the way, somebody gave my mother a few marigolds heads and some seeds that she could plant. And every year, she would take her little seeds and she would plant them really heavy in that little spot. And that was her patch, and that was her claim to fame. And every year somebody got stung by the bees because it was the only place the bees had to go. So then in the fall, whenever the blooms started to wilt and die back, my mother really didn't go out and do it. She would send me out, and she would say, pick some of the heads, go for the really dry ones. Whoops, let me just pull off a dry one here. And she would take them, and she wouldn't even bother doing this in the winter, or in the fall rather. She would just put them in her little bag. And this little brown bag, not this particular one, but it was 60 some years ago, she would take that, and it would have maybe, I don't know, 50 or 100 in there, and she would take that little bag and fold it over, and she would put it down under her sink, and that's where it would stay until about May, somewhere, maybe late April, May, after the thaw. And she would take it out, and those nice little dried seeds would come out, and she would have her starter for this year's crop of marigolds. And so I think to myself, this must be where it's come from, because I love seeds, and I can't wait. I'm in Windermere, Florida, and I will, in February or March, I will plant these, and I will have loads of flowers for the bees who are trying to find something to pollinate, somewhere to get their honey come March, April, May. And my other go-to plant, of course, is my zinnias, which you all have seen me take those apart and harvest them. But anyway, that's my story for the day. I did have these hanging. I keep them attached them to hangers, and then I put the hangers someplace right by a fan, because here in Florida it's so humid that you just have to. And so anyway, that's my story. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you guys real soon. Come back for another little story or another tip on gardening. In the meantime, have a great day. Garden what you've got. Bye-bye.